Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, we've got Stitzelweller on the channel. Kinda, sort of, maybe, possibly. It's really blatant bold, but we'll get into that. Look, in the comments, let me know how many times you guys have walked past this product and why. Let's get it.
Bottle drop, bottle drop, bottle drop.
Now, in the comments, I want you guys to tell me if you have all 5 of these bottles at home, 5 of the same bottles with just a different number T on the side, or if you just walk past this bottle. I mean, it's kind of gimmicky, in my opinion. Look, I haven't gotten into the juice that's in the bottle yet, so I don't want to just scare you off and say, hey, don't buy this product, because once you hear my review, it may be enjoyable and you may want to go out and get a bottle. But the reason why I say it's kind of gimmicky is because everybody knows that Stitzelweller used to make Pappy. These are not related products. You've got Weller here. Weller is owned by the Sazerac Corporation right now. This is owned by Diageo. Diageo owns the Stitzelweller distillery. So everybody knowing that Stitzelweller used to produce Pappy, they decided to come out with Blatant Bow and go ahead and hop on the bandwagon and say, hey, these Blatant Bows do still have some of the old Stitzelweller barrels that we selected to go into this Blatant Bow. However, they use a Solera aging process where you take some of the distillate out of the barrel, leave some of the distillate in the barrel, refill the barrel with more distillate, and then age it even further. And then over time, you aren't left with any Stitzelweller distillate, in my opinion. Now, if I'm wrong, come at me in the comments and let me know. But that just seems a little disingenuous. And then to have people buy the same bourbon not twice, 5 times. This is Blatant Bow. It just says Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Have people buy the same bourbon 5 times to have 5 different numbers on the keys, and then send a picture of those keys in so you can be commemorated in the Stitzelweller distillery by having your name put on some Hall of Fame or something like that. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I don't want to badmouth the whiskey, because the bourbon could actually be pretty good. It's just the marketing behind it. Let's get into the nose. Not much just yet. Normally, I get a lot of my nosing notes on the second sip. A light fruit. Maybe a touch of citrus. And a sweet cream. Let's go into the palate. That's nice. That is a very That is a very nice, light citrus, a little bit of nuttiness. And it's got a weird proof too, man. It comes in at 45.5 ABV, so it's 91 proof. You don't see that often. I mean, that's kind of weird, just like the Woodford Reserve 90.4 proof. It is a cool bottle. I do love the badge on the front of the bottle. I love the design of the bottle, the shape of the bottle and everything. Like I said, the key is a little gimmicky, and we all know about the key, hint, larceny. But I don't want to trash the whiskey. It's like I said before, it is just the marketing behind it. Let's go back into the nose. A little oaky on the nose. Citrus and fruitiness is still in the glass. And a nice creaminess. We'll go back into the palate one more time. I mean, it is actually a pretty enjoyable pour. Is it worth the 50-something dollars? We'll get into that in the breakdown. But the mouthfeel is pretty good. The mouthfeel is pretty good. It is a nice, sweet creaminess. It's got some citrus in it. It's got a touch of nuttiness in it. They don't disclose the mash bill. We know that the old Stitzel Weller juice was 51% corn, and then it had mostly wheat in it because it was a wheated bourbon. We don't know what they're mixing it with these days because they don't disclose that. So I can't give you much more than that. But as far as what's in the bottle, it is actually pretty good. Let's get into the breakdown. I don't think, let's say this first. Is it worth over retail? I don't think it's worth retail. I really don't. I think that there are other products out there that are in this same price range that are way better. I think that there are other products out there that are below this price range that are way better. Asking 50 to 55 bucks for this bottle, to me, is asking way too much. I would like to see this thing priced more around the $35 category. If you put this in that $35 price range, I think people would buy it. I think people would snatch it up all day. But the gimmicky marketing behind it and the high dollar price tag, it doesn't make sense to buy. Would I give it to a new bourbon drinker? I would definitely give it to a new bourbon drinker. I think it's enjoyable, and I think it's easy enough to take in on the palate without destroying your palate, that I would give it to a new bourbon drinker, and I think they would find it enjoyable. Will it always be on a bar? At the price that it's at, it will not always be on my bar. Once this bottle is gone, it is gone. I don't think I'll be picking up another one, especially not the same bottle, just for 4 more keys so I can get them sent off to a factory just to get my name put up somewhere that I probably would never travel to and never even see. And you know me, I give my honest opinion. I do not like dogging bottles. It is the whiskey inside is not a bad whiskey. It's just everything else that is associated with it. So with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you head it to a drop. Till next time.